Yo,
Hello.
what's going on? Oh,
Wait, what the fuck?
yeah, crossover episode.
What?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, I had to wait like an eon till I get in here.
Okay, so for those who don't know, this is my high school friend who was recently deployed to Afghanistan, and this is the first time I've talked to him in, I think, years now.
Yeah, probably. I was gone for a minute. I just got back like a couple months ago.
Well, I'm happy to see that you're back and you're safe, dude. Like,
Yeah, man.
holy shit.
Yeah, fine. I just came to. I was like, I'm gonna sit here and interrogate and be like, yo, what did you think about that whole situation?
About Afghanistan?
Yeah, man.
Um,
Like, what do you think about that?
so I think that the Afghanistan situation shows clearly that people don't know what the fuck they want, right? Because for years, people were like, we need to pull out of Afghanistan, man. We need to pull out of Afghanistan. We need to pull out of Afghanistan. And number one, we were not prepared to pull out of Afghanistan. Meaning we were, and this is something I've been talking about for a while, that people have been talking about pulling out of Afghanistan. The online left-wingers have been talking about pulling out of the country. But I would always ask, okay, how? And no one would have an answer to me. And I've challenged multiple people on this platform about that, and they would never give me an answer. That's the first problem. Then when it comes to like people not knowing what they want, we finally pull out. Biden's the first president who actually delivers on the promise to pull out of Afghanistan, and now people like see it as like a massive mistake. Like oh my god, I can't believe you pulled out of Afghanistan.
Yeah.
This was the natural consequence of pulling out of Afghanistan. Everyone knew that if you pulled out of Afghanistan, there was a high possibility. Now, you can do what you can to support the Afghan National Army and do what you can to hopefully so they could stand the tide against the Taliban. But everybody knew that the Afghan National Army had problems. Everybody knew that there was corruption, that the fucking bureaucrats of Afghanistan steal resources and are corrupt as fuck. And and of course, Ashraf Ghani fled the country like immediately. And so those realities immediately showed themselves before we even pulled out of the country. The whole fucking country collapsed. And so I think that while there were mistakes Biden made when it comes to like the air base and it comes to, of course, the drone strike that ended up killing those civilians, this was, ever since we signed that deal with the Taliban, it was gonna be messy. Because we were basing it on a foundation of like, yeah, totally, okay, we're gonna sign this deal while also not having a ceasefire that is lasting until we even out of the country. Because we weren't even out of the country, and the Afghan National Army and the Taliban were fighting. How are you gonna do a withdrawal during active military combat? Because that it doesn't make sense. And so once that deal was signed, and Biden got to sit in front of this deal, he had two options. Either reject the deal, and he even extended the withdrawal, meaning this could have been much worse. He could either reject the deal and then put the whole deal in jeopardy, and try to negotiate with the Taliban again? Good luck, right? Trying to get another deal. Not to mention, he's going to get a ton of shit because the same people who are condemning him right now for pulling out, are going to come out and say, Biden, how dare you not pull out of Afghanistan? Because people flip-flop like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's one side of it. Or he can pull out, and he obviously chose the second option. We all saw what came from that. And so, basically what I'm getting at is what happened was a disaster. It came from a lack of preparation, a bad deal, and Biden did fuck up. But I will also compliment the fact that he did one of the largest airlifts in human history and was able to pick up when the ball was dropped. He dropped the ball, but then picked it back up. So that's my position on the Afghanistan withdrawal, generally.
Yeah, I mean, the whole situation was kind of fucky on the ground. Like, even then, like, we got there and we had no fucking clue as to what the fuck was going on. Like, so immediately when we touched down, we had to like just clear this airfield like full of people. I don't know if you saw that shit on the news, like all the crowding and shit that was like down there. And it was fucking atrocious, dude. Like, you had to do like all this random shit, and then as soon as we finished that, like, we had to sit on the airfield and sit around and fucking wait. Like, I don't really know what all the fucking, like, bullshit like you can even say now. Like, I don't even know if it's like even public access anymore. But like, because the shit that was going down on the ground is like completely fucking different than whatever the fuck everyone's even posted about. You know what I mean? Like that whole shit. Like there was what, like 120,000 people that fucking got out. Like that shit was like
And
that shit felt crazy.
obviously, like a lot of this is not public information, so I'll do my best not to ask anything that I think could get you in trouble. But please tell
Mm.
me if I'm asking you anything that get you in trouble. How
Yeah, you're good.
did it feel like it was an organized withdrawal?
Fuck no. That shit was a joke, dude. That like nobody knew what the fuck was going on. All we so like okay, so check it out. The thing is, right on the outside, Taliban. You know, we didn't even know we were cool with the Taliban until like maybe like a day or two in. So it was weird as fucks because like we like caused like Taliban like casualties in a sense, like, and we didn't know what the fuck was going on because it's like okay, you see a bad guy, you shoot the bad guy. Like that's all people knew, you know, touching down. So we're fucking so what was supposed to happen was this deal with the Taliban that was you get these people, you fucking organize them, like, or the Taliban's supposed to organize them before they come in. They got to make sure they got paperwork, all this bullshit, right? So the shit that they need to get into the actual base. So we were under the assumption that they were fucking handling that shit. The
Yeah.
thing is, they'll like come in, like we'll have. So the thing is, what sucked is we had to have like 10 people at a time walk in this big fucking gate, like huge fucking gate. We couldn't keep it open. So we're sitting there defending this gate against all these people like on the outside. Like we're letting these dudes in like 10 at a time. And there's thousands, hundreds of thousands of people on the fucking outside of these walls, dude.
Hundreds of thousands?
Dude, hundreds of thousands. Like we let in like 120,000, but there was like, dude, there was and this was on. I was on a couple of the gates. We
I
fucking
assume that must have been difficult though, like having to turn away people who
yeah.
fear for their life because they know the Taliban, if they worked with the Americans, they're gonna get assassinated. Like TikTok comedians have been assassinated by the fucking Taliban since we left. TikTok comedians. I mean, of course they're gonna kill
Hmm.
government officials. They've killed police chiefs. They're the Taliban.
Yeah, journalist was like their number one favorite thing, like to show us like that they're about to kill, like literally assassinating the crowd. You know what I mean? Like we just can't do anything like about it either. So it's like it's crazy. And like we're sitting here and like all like we see like we don't really have internet like that. And it's like when we do have internet, we're seeing shit like all this bullshit that's going on like the news, and it's like we don't even know what the fuck is going on. You know what I mean? We don't know what the fuck, who the fuck we're supposed to let in. We're letting people in, and these dudes don't even have fucking paperwork. You know what I mean? Like they've just got a piece of paper like drawn in that they're fucking civilians, and like we need to let them through. So the Taliban's not even checking shit at the gate. And
That's
then we're
another
fucking
thing.
letting
You had to
people in.
rely on on the Taliban in many instances to not only let people
Hmm.
through, but for security as well. And that's part of the reason why, even though like it was the material reality on the ground that you had to, there was basically no option at that point. That's what the Taliban not knowing doing their job is part of the reason why we lost the soldiers on the ground because they
Hmm.
got through.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like there'd be times where you're fucking sitting there trying to drag people in 10 at a time, and you know people are forcing themselves in. Like people are literally throwing their children above, like over the walls. You know what I
They
mean?
were like, wait, when you say throwing them, like there was no one there to catch it. They just throw it and it's like somebody
No,
does their
like
best, or like what do you mean?
they weren't throwing it actively at people. Like I mean, they just throw them over the wall. Like we tried our like I don't know if you've seen that photo of the dude like holding the guy's hand up, you know, like
Yes.
picking up that kid, that baby.
Uh-huh.
So I
Did you
know
hear
that
the
dude.
story about that dude? There was a dude who claimed to be that guy at a Trump rally,
Yeah, that was
and
him. No, that was him.
that
Yeah,
was
no.
him? Dude, he
Yeah,
got
I know that
enough.
guy.
Did he get in a shit ton of trouble? Because I heard he got in a
So
shit ton of trouble for that.
I don't really know if I can really talk. I mean, I could probably talk about it. It doesn't really matter. So he didn't get in a fuck ton of trouble. So our battalion has done a really good job at like making sure he didn't get in a fuck ton of trouble. All he got was like a piece of paper that, like a negative counseling, pretty much. He didn't get in a stupid amount of trouble. Like I don't know why the news is saying that they got a fuck ton of trouble, but he's cool. Like he didn't lose rank. He didn't do anything.
So he got
You
basically,
know what I mean?
he got like he got a finger waving. Like somebody ragged a finger at him,
Mm,
basically.
but it's like paperwork. You know what I mean? It's like a paperwork finger wave. So it's like not that bad, but it's still like I don't know. People like acted like it was a big fucking deal. Like I know that dude, and you know we're fucking cool, but it's like that shit did not really affect it. It's not gonna affect him at all. He's getting out pretty soon, actually. So
Like
we're
out of
going
the
back
service,
to
or what do you mean?
yeah, he's getting out of the service like in a couple like months, maybe like next month or some shit, actually.
Got you.
But yeah, the only reason he really got in trouble, it was not because of what he said or because he went to a Trump rally, all that bullshit. The only reason he got in trouble was because he was out of bounds for the Corona radius. So
Really? So
like,
was it
that's
for?
it.
But as far as I
No.
know, like if you're active duty, you can't just go to political. Well, I'm asking you. Can you just go to
Mhm.
political rallies and just like do what he did? Is that
So you
allowed?
can go to political rallies, right? That's the thing. You can have an opinion, right? That's not a problem. The problem is that so if you start out like voicing your political values and they're against like the government or like, you know, you're conspiring against
Wait,
all
are
that bullshit
veterans
like
allowed
that,
to
I
have
don't like.
opinions? I don't like that.
No, we can sometimes, but like I mean, it's really just a matter of like, that's the only reason he got in trouble. Like what he said didn't fucking matter. You know what I mean? He was just there. He showed face and he left. If you've seen the video, he's only on stage for like like
Yeah,
not even 5 minutes, like a
Trump
couple
just
seconds.
calls them up and they do the
And he
whole
like fucking
shebang.
yep, he
So he didn't
cries
get
a
in
little
trouble
bit.
for that at all.
No, not at
So
all.
so did he break any policies by doing that thing at Trump's thing, or like, besides the
Mm,
coronavirus thing?
no, not really. Honestly, he did because he didn't really voice his opinions in like really a way. Like only if you're in uniform, kind of like that. That's when shit gets fucky. If you're saying
Got it.
shit as like,
You're
hey,
not
as a
in
Marine, I
uniform
think this
currently,
is
are
good.
you?
Me?
Yeah. By the way, can I use
Fuck
your
no.
name?
Yeah.
Um.
Yeah.
So
It's
just making sure. I don't want to get you. I just want to make sure you don't get in trouble, man.
No, I don't give a fuck. I'm not gonna get in trouble.
You're
You got my
invincible.
clout, but no, fuck, never that. Never that. I learned that the hard way, dude.
You're like a 5-star general, right?
Yeah, sir. Just
Yeah.
voice my opinions as 5-star general.
Thank you.
Nah, but fucking yeah, that was it. I was just fucking wondering, man.
So,
That's all.
here's a question. And if you don't want to
Yeah.
talk about this, that's fine. So you knew him. Did
hmm
you know any of the people who sadly passed?
Yeah, I did. A lot of people talk about the sergeant that passed. Like everyone for whatever reason knew her. I mean, she was really cool. Like we lived on the same boat as her, and it was like a pretty crazy thing to feel for, man. Like it was Sergeant G. A lot of people talk about her like now, but there's a lot of other people. Like there's so many people that got injured that nobody cares about, man. It's fucked up.
I
You
remember
know?
when there was the Soleimani strike, when Soleimani was killed.
Mm,
Um, the Iranians, of course, sent a bunch of missiles over into the north of Iraq, and it hit one of our bases. And nobody talks about it because, or Trump downplayed it, of course, because like nobody died. But people forget like tons of people were injured though. Like, and people
hmm
like say, oh, they're just headaches. No, they have like many of them have permanent brain damage, and I think a lot of people like to just talk about the deaths, but like people's lives are irrevocably changed. It's like with COVID. Like a lot of people catch COVID and don't die, so nobody talks about them, but will have like lifelong health effects that'll change how they have to live their life for the rest of their lives.
hmm Yeah. It's kind of fucked up, man. Like especially thinking about like all the people that are there that are probably honestly, we were there for what, like no longer than 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And people are fucked up,
So
like
you
just
were
from
you were
the shit that's
deployed
going on.
there for to help get people out. That was your mission, was to
That was
guard the
our
base.
main objective.
So you
Yep, our
guarded
main
the
objective was
base.
to. No, so for me, I was doing all types of shit, man. I was running around. I can't really talk about what I was doing
I
exactly,
figured,
cause
yeah.
but like everyone was doing like their fair share of shit. My section was doing like, they're guarding the gates, they're letting people in, like we're searching people. Like I mean, like I said, I search people, like searching people, like all types of shit. You know what I mean? Um, it wasn't just like, hey, you go down here, like, and then we didn't really know what the fuck was going on. So he didn't really have like a specific thing we were supposed to do. We got down there and it was like, all right, looks like we're gonna do this today, maybe. You know what I mean? Or like, hey, we're gonna go stand at this gate and let people in, like, 10 people every 30 minutes, like, you know what I mean, type shit. And the thing that made it way more
Was
complicated
it
was people were
inefficient?
letting. Definitely, dude. It was fucking. I mean, like, actually, probably like near the last couple days, we started like actually having a proper system. But like, there'd be times where it's just like, hey, we got to close the gate. We're sorry, we don't know how long, but like, it has to be closed. You know what I'm saying? It could have been done way better. Like, there's times where we closed the gate and we just couldn't open them. You know?
What is there anything that you think could have been done better specifically, like something that could have been changed that could have helped?
Maybe if we knew what the fuck we were doing before we got there, I was like, what? That would have
I
fucking
actually have a
helped.
question for you, Mohammed, if it's cool.
Yeah, what's up?
Did you get, like, you mentioned how it was only 3 weeks and people are still fucked up, which obviously what you described, if you have to shut the door on somebody, like, that's trying to get away to safety, of course you're going to be fucked up, right?
hmm
Is, like, part of your training or anything, do you not get, like, any preparation, like, counseling or anything do you not get, like, any mental preparation, like, on how to, like, deal with these ethical issues, like, how to,
I mean,
like,
like,
handle them in your head?
to be fair, we didn't know it was fucking happening. Like we didn't know that that was gonna be the case. Like we had no idea. Like literally no idea. Like it was just one day we're on the boat and we're like, all right, next day we're just leaving. Like we're just going to Afghan, and we're just like, okay, what the fuck? So we go to I can't say where, but we went to another place before we left, We waited there, and then they were like, all right, we're on standby to go. Like that was it. And as we go, and it was like, all right, our job is to evacuate. Like, okay, cool.
So
Like what now? You know what I mean?
you
It's
weren't
like,
even
okay,
like
how
really
are we gonna do it?
physically ready. Like your body's not even really like what
No,
happens
we're
that quick. Your
physically
body's
ready.
not even like really adjusted.
We're physically ready. We got physically ready. I
Oh,
mean, we've been
okay.
getting physically ready this entire
I'm sorry, I didn't mean like in
No, no,
shape.
I
I
know.
meant like so you like so
I
you
get it,
everyone was
Fluff.
like
Just
mentally
admit it. You
prepared.
called him a pussy.
Shut up.
Nah, but
No,
I mean, it's just, it was just like a matter of we didn't know that it was gonna be fucked up like that, And
that's
if it's
fair.
not something you can even prepare for, honestly. Like no matter what kind of fucking preparation we could have done, like
That sounds like yeah,
we
that
would have
makes
been
a lot
ready
of
for
sense.
that. You know what I mean? It's not like something that easy.
So
That makes a lot of
let
sense.
me ask you. So
Yeah.
did you have time to work with anybody from the Afghan National Army? I know that a lot of the people that the CIA trained, some of the best of the Afghan National Army, were at the airport with the basically guaranteed ticket out of the country. Did you
Mhm.
work alongside any of those people?
Yeah, we worked alongside a lot of nations actually. I mean, a lot of nations. I don't really think I should talk about how they were operating, but just it seemed like, you know, we were putting in the work. I mean, at least Marines were putting in the work. Like, I'm not gonna downplay anybody else that was there, but it was a lot of nations, and a lot of nations cared for their own people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but we were helping like everybody out, and it was like, but a lot of nations they care about their own nations, if that makes sense.
Yeah, there was a lot of nations that were involved that didn't necessarily really take any refugees.
Yeah.
What do you think about the fact that we what do you think about our taking of refugees from Afghanistan?
I mean, honestly, I'm glad we got them. So I'm only worried about, really what we did. What's going on in the States, like this aftershock of shit that's going on, like on all these bases that have like are holding refugees. Like I'm all for these people. Like I'm glad they're in a better place, but it's for me that's like as far as it goes. I'm glad we got the people that were good out, and I'm just hoping like we didn't bring anybody bad like back. But it's not like we could really do anything. Like we're not running full background checks on people at the fucking gates.
Do
You
you
know?
do do you think it was practical to do anything like that? Because I heard from a lot of conservatives who say that we should have done that. We should have ran full background checks. Do you
hmm
think that would have been feasible, or do you think that
That
would have
would
meant we?
not. No way. That would not have been possible. Like it was not even possible. Like people at the gate, right? Taliban was supposed to check these motherfuckers for. Can I curse on here?
Yeah, yeah, fine.
Yeah. So they were supposed to check these people like when they come in, right? So we're not even supposed to do this shit. So we're just letting people in, like we're just searching them, we're checking them, making sure they're good, we're sending them out, and then we make sure they have paperwork like further down the line. But the thing that sucks is a lot of these people don't have paperwork. So we had to send so many people back, and it was just like we can't check these dudes at the gate because we don't know what to look for. The dudes at the gate, we don't know what to look for. We don't know if a piece of paper like means anything different than another piece of paper. Like it all just looked like nonsense to us. And checking like what are they gonna do? Bring their printed like background checks and stuff? People were just showing up because they wanted to. You know what I mean? Like people were just looking at this like, hey, like we're just like people that walked by, like when I was on the wall, they were just walking by and they're like, yeah, is this to go to the States? Like are you supposed to be here? Like he was like, well, we don't know. We're just gonna get in line. Like, dude, like what? You know what I mean? It's like these dudes are just looking at it like it's like a free ride kind of. And like I feel like there was not enough people that even had paperwork to go that were just waiting.
Do
And
you
they put
think?
themselves in dangerous situations trying to get through the Taliban, dude. Like
Did you?
they were out
Okay,
there beating
so
the shit out of people.
yeah, I've everyone anybody who paid attention saw the footage where they would take these things that look like whips almost, and they'd go about
Yeah.
and they didn't only they beat everyone, including
Those
Americans.
those were chargers.
Chargers, like
Those
phone,
were like phone
like
chargers. Yeah.
wow.
That like shit that you see, like that shit was like phone chargers. That shit hurts. Man, that shit hurts.
How many people do you think they hit?
Hit? They were hitting everybody, dude. They didn't give a fuck. Like we'll like tell them like, "Hey, can you get these people to back up?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah, for sure." And they just start beating the fuck out of people. And we're like, "Yeah, well, we're not talking to you guys anymore." Like the fuck?
Do you think that that the fact that the Taliban were part of the security compromised the withdrawal at all, or the Taliban's presence around the airport? Like how much do you think it compromised?
I don't know if it really compromised it. I feel like it made it a lot harder to do really anything that was humane, I guess. I mean, like we did everything right. We didn't fuck up or anything, but it's them on the outside, like they don't have fucking any sort of, regulations to follow. Like they're on their own fucking program. They don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like you pissed them off, they probably kill you. Like they don't fucking care. out there.
Do you
know what I
think
mean?
we took enough people? Do you think we should have taken more?
I mean, I wish we could have taken as many of the people that should have came as possible. I don't know what the number would be. Like, like I don't know how many people were supposed to go. Like, how many people weren't supposed to go. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a whole situation, man. We don't know what the fuck is going on.
What's your view of the Taliban?
I don't like the Taliban, man. I don't fuck with the Taliban. I don't even think we should have been fucking friends with them. I don't know what the fuck we were doing down there, even talking to them. You know what I mean?
Hmm?
I didn't want to breathe their air. Like, and the fact that we had to sit there and fucking tolerate them for that fucking long was just fucking aggravating.
What do you think about the
It's
future
fucked
of?
up. It's fucked up.
You know what? I'm gonna. You know what? I'll be the first to say it. I think the Taliban should be canceled. I think they're problematic, and I think we need to have a conversation about it. What do you think about the future of Afghanistan, considering this is the first time it'll be run by the Taliban in about 20 years, 21?
I don't know, man. I've seen a lot of people like they're all for it. Like they're all like, yeah, man, they needed to do this. I'm glad they're implementing Sharia law, like all this shit. Because I'm Muslim, so I know people that are like, yeah, yeah, this is right. Like they should be doing this, and it's like I don't know how you're trying to be seen as a actual legit government, doing the shit that you do. Like this shit, they're like children, dude. Like so get this right. They're like sitting there on the gate, doing what the fuck we have to do, and these motherfuckers are out here like trying to take selfies with us, like, post up like, hey, yo, come for the picture. Get the fuck away from me, man. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and fucking entertain this. Like, why the fuck? Like, they're like kids, dude. Like, they're like children. Like even their higher up officials are like children. They all like it's a fucking joke. I don't know how the fuck they're gonna do.
Did you see
I have no
any
clue.
specific human rights abuses from the Taliban while you were in Afghanistan?
You said human rights abuses?
Yes.
Like what? Them just beating the shit out of people just cause? I mean,
Well,
there's
I mean
that.
that is a human rights abuse. Yes.
Oh,
Did
yeah,
they
then yeah.
did they block people from entering the airport?
So from a week, I mean, like they probably like blocked further along the line. I didn't really see any of them block anybody. It seemed like they were just letting everyone through the gate, like everyone. Well, they didn't let people through the gate, but they were like letting people come in line. I guess it wasn't really a line. It was just like a crowd of fucking people. But you know, that's just how it was. Like they didn't really give a fuck. I feel like they were just there because they probably had to be there. And he's like, all right, we're just gonna stand here. Like they weren't checking paperwork, so obviously they did not give a fuck further back down the line or close to us. So you know.
Man, I didn't expect this
Yeah.
conversation, and I didn't expect you to call in, man. But
Yeah, man, I was in line for like an hour and a half or some shit. I was like, what the fuck is this?
I have a few people who are interested in calling in today. Yeah,
A few. Jesus Christ.
yeah.
But
It's
yeah, man.
yeah, life has changed a little bit since I last talked to you.
Just just a little bit.
I mean,
Fucking
for both of us,
I'm probably gonna go fucking chill with you when I get back.
dude. When you
I'm not
get
gonna be
back,
there
we're
for that
gonna
long.
get fucked up.
Oh,
Okay?
let's fucking get it then.
Okay,
Let's fucking get it.
Okay, man. When you get back here, we're gonna have a blast. Okay.
All right, bet.
Okay. Message me. Okay. See you later, man.
All right, later.